Welcome back to my channel, guys. It's time for another anime retro first impression videos. Welcome back to my channel, guys. Like I said, I in my previous retro first impression video, um, I am in a journey of looking for one, animes that are outside of the genres that I typically watch, and two, older than maybe 5 or 8 years, so you can truly call it retro anime. Now, this one has dates back to 2000, so it's still in the 20-ish years old. It's not as old as I wish it was, like the previous one that I reviewed, where it was from 1988. But I do want to talk about the animation and just how much animation has improved from this to now than the 80s to this, because it's amazing the progress that there's been. So before anything, guys, if you haven't done so by now, make sure you subscribe to my channel, give some love by comment, liking, and sharing. You guys can also follow me on social media and other places by checking the description below. I do appreciate all the love and support that you show this channel. Make sure you check out my other retro first impressions and reviews, because I do a lot of older stuff, or I'm trying to, but I also have new stuff. So if you're into new current series, I also have that in my channel. So okay, uh, um, so Jinki Extend. First of all, as far as I know or understand, Jinki Extend is actually the anime itself is composed of two sets of mangas. The first one, released from 2000 2001, which is the earliest dated content for Jinki Extent. It was only 4 volumes, and then they came back in 2002, a year later, and they released Jinki Extent for about 4 more years with 9 volumes. So they tripled its size with adding 9 more volumes into it. So in total, 13 volumes to the manga, which is pretty extensive, to be honest. A lot of series range around 7 to 8, 9 max. So very few are around 3 or 5, but at least around this time. So yeah, pretty good extension of mangas. And the anime itself released in 2005 in the winter season, 13 episodes, and it was based on both series of mangas as far as I know. Now, the anime itself was actually not too bad. It is a mecha anime, and again, this is out of my range of knowledge when it comes to me actually watching a lot of mecha. I don't, but it is mainly mecha, and it very much it is. So, what else? Oh yeah, so the animation. The animation, before I go into talking about the actual episode, the animation from 2005 to 89, there's not a huge difference. Like, I watched the 89, 88 anime, and I'm watching it still, and I'm like, wow, it's old. I can tell it's old. But when I watch this one, I'm like, well, it's as old, right? No, there's a whole 17 years in between these two series, and yet the animation is completely almost the same. There is a little bit more updates to like color content and all that, but it's pretty much the same, to be honest. But then you compare this one to a lower budget, and I'm comparing it to a lower budget because that's what I assume this would be in its time to now. Lower budget anime, huge difference, and again, it's only been 19 years since the anime release. 18, well, no, yeah, it's 19 years now. So 19 years. So it's a good middle to see that from then to the past there was not a lot of change, but from then to the future, which is now today, huge difference. So anime, if you don't believe it, you can see some of this older stuff and compare it to one another. You'll see that anime has improved a lot in the past few years. So Episode one focuses on, I believe, is the Suzaki character. She is, actually, I might be incorrect, but she's a girl who lost her grandma. That's all she had, and then she gets abducted by some weird guy dressed in drag, and takes her into a van. She doesn't know where she is. She escapes her kidnappers, which we later find out that they're not really kidnapping her, but they are. Like, they're bringing to her to someone important, which we don't know who it is, because that's kind of how they end the episode. But um, they explain at the end that they're not kidnapping her. They were bringing her to someone important. They just knew that she didn't know that this person was alive, and she didn't know who or any of this was. So yeah. But anyways, she escapes from them at one point, and she ends up finding this huge robot. Now she has a passion of robots. She loves them, so she gets interest in them. And when they come around the corner looking for her, she goes and hides in what seems to be an arm of a robot. Well, an alarm goes off. The people that are chasing her are the ones that actually man the robot. So they climb inside the robot and they go into battle. Um, and from there to most of the episode is essentially the battle against this robot. They find her in the arm. She ends up going back in the co-pilot. There's a little fan service here and there, but not really. With her coming in and falling, with her legs up and all that. And there's whole like dialogue that, to be honest, not that important to the story. They defeat the robot, which half the time you forget that they're fighting a robot. And yeah, other than it ending with like a villain showing up and going, ha ha ha, we're gonna meet again, blah blah. Um, the series really doesn't have any hook. I'm gonna say that from the beginning. It is 13 episodes. There was a few reviews on Crunchyroll, and I'm so glad that I read the reviews after the first episode, because the reviews in Crunchyroll, they're horrible. A lot of them gave them pretty low stars on this one, saying that it's not a good anime, it's all over the place, and I kind of agree that it is kind of all over the place. I do disagree in some of the comments that they were saying that it was unwatchable for the first half of the episode. I actually enjoyed some of the first half because it does develop the character herself, knowing where she's coming from, why she's feeling this way, why she acts the way that she acts as well, and you get some input on the other characters as well. I personally feel like the ending was a little boring, so it is what it is. Thank you guys so much for watching this. If you haven't done so by now, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time. Like always, don't be strangers. See you guys.